Baby, pull the curtain, lock the front door, put the phone on silent, and scoot in close. Because the block is on fire tonight and Rihanna's name is right in the middle of the smoke. Word came out the back room that a certain little pop star from across the ocean has been circling ASAP Rocky like a hawk that missed breakfast. And the woman she thinks she's stepping around is not just anybody. No. That woman is Rihanna. Yes, Rihanna. The billionaire. The mogul. The mama. The one whose fandom will hunt you down in the comment section and set your entire timeline on fire before your morning coffee cools. And the name on the whisper is Tyla. 24 years old, South African, glossy, gorgeous, and according to the streets, allegedly bold enough to poke the biggest bear in pop culture. So sit down, breathe deep, because we are peeling this one back layer by layer, and I am not leaving a single receipt on the floor. Now let me set the room. For a good long minute, folks online have been pushing this narrative that Tyla is Rihanna 2.0. Tyla is the clone. Tyla is the heir. Tyla is what Rihanna would sound like if Rihanna decided to drop another album this decade. And listen, I get the comparison, a little. They both stunning. They both got that unbothered, camera-ready glow. They both step on a red carpet and the flashbulbs lose their minds. But let's be honest with the class, alright? Rihanna is Rihanna. Rihanna is Finny. Rihanna is savage. Rihanna is the mother of three, the CEO of empires, and the woman whose one Instagram post can crash a server. Tyla is a rising star with one massive hit called Water and a whole lot of ambition. Cute? Yes. Talented? Absolutely. But in the same room as Rihanna? Baby, it is not the same weight class. It is not even the same sport. And still, here we are. The streets say Tyla Dunn went and pulled a move so bold, so brazen, so obviously targeted, that the internet spotted it inside 48 hours and dragged her to the digital town square. Because Tyla, allegedly, just got herself a chain. Not just any chain. A chain that looks exactly, and I mean uncannily exactly, like a piece that famous jeweler Alex Moss handcrafted for one specific man. And that specific man happens to be the same specific man who wakes up next to Rihanna every morning. That man is ASAP Rocky. Now stitch this together for a second. Alex Moss New York, if you don't know the name, is the guy. He is the plug for iced out, one of one, custom, ridiculous, mortgage your house level jewelry for the biggest rap stars on the planet. Drake wears him. Playboy Cardi wears him. And yes, ASAP Rocky wears him too. Back in the spring, Alex Moss's shop reportedly wrapped up a diamond-drenched cartoon Jesus piece and an iced-out watch necklace that were both crafted specifically for ASAP Rocky. Not for the public. Not for a line. Not for a drop you can go cop on some website. Custom. Personal. His. And then, out of nowhere, on Tyla's socials, up pops Tyla, glowing, posing, angling, wearing a piece that looks like it walked straight out of that same shop and clocked in on the wrong neck. Fans blinked. Fans zoomed in. Fans screenshot. And fans went nuclear. Because it does not take a forensic gemologist to notice that when a woman known for being compared to a man's wife suddenly shows up wearing what looks like that man's custom hardware, the message is not subtle. The message is a flare gun, aimed at the sky, in broad daylight, with a note taped to it that says, "Look over here." So the question setting the timeline on fire is simple. Is Tyla shooting her shot at Rihanna's man? Is Tyla using the internet like a whisper network to slide subliminals under ASAP Rocky's front door? Or is this all engineered noise from a rising artist trying to keep her name buzzing while she preps her next single? Baby, let's crack it open. Look at the pattern, then tell me I'm lying. Because this is not the first time Tyla's name and Rihanna's name have collided in an awkward way. You remember that whole award show moment a while back? The one where Tyla was reportedly standing right there next to Rihanna, and Rihanna, according to Tyla's own admission on the timeline, was, quote, focused on her baby daddy calling her, and had to keep it moving? Tyla went online after that, and said she felt awkward. Tyla said she felt like she got the cold shoulder. Tyla played it soft, sweet, self-deprecating, like a fangirl who almost got a hug from her idol and got a polite wave instead. And a lot of us at the time said, poor thing, she was starstruck. But now, in hindsight, with this custom chain situation surfacing, that whole moment starts looking different, doesn't it? Because maybe Rihanna's instincts were louder than her manners that day. Maybe Rihanna felt something in her chest before her brain caught up. Maybe Rihanna already clocked, in the split second she had, that Tyla wasn't there to admire her. Tyla was there to inventory the man standing next to her. Because women know. Women know when another woman walks into a room and her eyes skip past you and lock onto your husband. Women know when a compliment carries a hook in it. Women know when an "I love your work, sis" actually means "I love your seat, and I'll take it when you're not looking." And Rihanna, of all women, has spent her entire adult life being scanned, priced, copied, and circled. Rihanna is not a first-timer. Rihanna reads rooms for a living. So when Rihanna reportedly held her greeting short and moved along, do not read that as rudeness. Read that as radar. Don't twist my words. I'm just laying the map out flat. I am not saying Tyla is a villain. I am not saying Tyla is desperate. I am not saying Tyla wrote a plan in a notebook that says Step 1, get the chain, Step 2, get the man, Step 3, get the empire. What I am saying is that the pattern, when you line up the awkward greeting, the constant Rihanna comparisons, the sudden appearance of near-identical jewelry, and the timing of it all, that pattern starts speaking in full sentences. And every one of those sentences ends with the same question mark. Girl, what exactly are you doing? And here is where the story turns. Because let me remind you who A$AP Rocky actually is when the cameras are off. This is not a man who fell out of the sky the day he met Rihanna. This is Harlem's own, Jay-Z adjacent, mob-affiliated, front row at Paris Fashion Week, painted nails, purse-carrying, silk scarf-wearing A$AP Rocky. This is a man whose personal style, and I say this with all the love in my heart, is a full spectrum. This is a man who has been described online for years, fairly or unfairly, as gender fluid in his fashion presentation. Handbags, skirts, kilts, nail polish, lace tops. The man dresses like a Renaissance painting most days, and I respect it. But I will say this, if you are a woman trying to slide into the DMs of a man who allegedly, according to the internet, allegedly has options that stretch across gender aisles and continents, you might want to double check that you are even in the conversation to begin with. And that is before we even talk about Rihanna herself. Because Rihanna is not just Rocky's partner. Rihanna is the ceiling A$AP Rocky is standing on. Rihanna is the reason certain doors open when he walks up. Rihanna is the reason certain magazines call. Rihanna is the reason certain designers dress him. When Rocky sits front row at a fashion show, half of that seat is Rihanna's invisible signature underneath him. And any woman trying to slide into that man's line has to understand she is not just competing with Rihanna the wife. She is competing with Rihanna the industry, Rihanna the check, Rihanna the network, Rihanna the machine. Now stitch this together for a second, because there is a bigger conversation underneath this whole mess. And that conversation is about a very old, very tired pattern in this business, where a younger woman decides that the shortcut to relevance is proximity to a bigger woman's man. We have seen it 100 times. We have watched the tape. Someone new drops a song, gets a little buzz, and the next thing you know, she is showing up at his shows, wearing his colors, quoting his lyrics, and hoping the tabloids do the rest of the work for her. It is not new. It is not clever. It is not even effective anymore. Because in the year we are living in, the audience clocks it in real time and drags you before your PR team can even draft a statement. And this is where Tyla, if the rumors are true, is playing a dangerous game. Because Rihanna's fan base is not a fan base. Rihanna's fan base is a standing army. The Navy. They do not sleep. They do not blink. They do not forgive. They will find a 15-year-old tweet you posted in Afrikaans and translate it into English just to prove a point. If they smell a subliminal at Rihanna's family, they will torch your entire discography before lunch, and no amount of TikTok apologies is going to put that fire out. Alright, cool down for a second, because I want to be fair. There is another read on this whole thing, and I owe you the courtesy of laying it on the table. It is possible, and honestly not even that far-fetched, that Tyla is not trying to steal anybody's man. It is possible she is trying to steal something else entirely. Attention, because let's be honest, Tyla has a hit. Tyla has a name. Tyla has a beautiful face and a whole team of people whose entire job is to keep her name in your mouth. And nothing keeps a name in a mouth in this business faster than a controversy attached to a bigger name. If Tyla drops a single tomorrow, the algorithm is going to serve her track to every single person who searched Tyla Rihanna this week, which is now, probably, everybody with a phone. So maybe, just maybe, this is not romance. Maybe this is marketing. Maybe this is a rollout in disguise. Maybe there is a music video on the way, and this chain, this timing, this whole loud silence, is the trailer. Don't twist my words. I am not defending anybody. I am just doing what a good storyteller has to do, which is show you every angle before I tell you which one I believe. And which one do I believe? Baby, I am going to be real with you. I think it is a little bit of both. I think Tyla knows exactly what the chain looks like. I think Tyla knows exactly what the fans will say. I think Tyla knows exactly what Rihanna will feel. And I think Tyla and her team made a decision that a little bit of controversy is worth a whole lot of streams. And whether or not she actually wants A$AP Rocky in her orbit is almost a side quest. The main quest is your attention. And congratulations to her, because she has it. Now stitch this together for a second, because there is a piece of this that keeps eating at me. And that piece is the timing. Because remember, ASAP Rocky has not exactly been on his best public behavior lately. There has been a whole conversation online about him getting a little too comfortable at his own shows, saying a little too much, flirting a little too loudly, forgetting that his wife has a phone and a fandom. Rihanna, from what the streets have been saying, already had to pull that leash once. Rihanna already had to remind that man which building his name lives in. And now, on the tail end of that whole storm, here comes Tyla, allegedly, with a matching chain and a knowing smile. That is not accidental. That is opportunistic. That is somebody watching the news, reading the temperature, and deciding to walk into the kitchen while the pot is already boiling. And that, right there, is the part that is going to make Rihanna's fans lose the plot. Because it is one thing to admire a woman's man from a polite distance. It is another thing entirely to move in while she is going through it. That crosses a line that even the messiest people in this industry usually pretend to respect. And if Tyla actually did what the internet is accusing her of, then she just wrote her own villain arc for the next 12 months of pop culture headlines. And Rihanna, honey, will not even have to lift a finger. Her fans will handle it. Her legal team will not even need to send an email. Cool down, breathe with me. Because I do not want anyone in these comments jumping to conclusions before all the receipts are on the counter. Nothing here is confirmed. Tyla has not said a word. Rihanna has not said a word. ASAP Rocky has not said a word. Alex Moss has not said a word. Everyone with a checkmark next to their name is being conveniently silent, which, in this industry, usually means everybody is watching to see who blinks first. And the second one of them speaks, the rest of them will scramble to control the narrative. So keep your eyes open, keep your notifications on, and do not let any single account tell you the full story until the receipts start dropping in the tags. But while we wait, let me remind you why this whole situation matters beyond the gossip of it. Because this is not just about one chain, one girl, and one man. This is about the way our culture keeps setting up the same trap for young women in music. You get a hit, you get compared to a legend, you get told your only ceiling is that legend's throne, and then the machine whispers in your ear that the only way to grab that throne is to grab something belonging to her. It is not fair to Tyla, and it is not fair to Rihanna, and it is definitely not fair to the girls at home watching, learning that womanhood in the spotlight is a knife fight instead of a relay race. Rihanna, for the record, has never once, in the entire arc of her career, treated another rising female artist like a threat first and a colleague second. Rihanna has co-signed newcomers. Rihanna has cast unknowns in her Fenty campaigns. Rihanna has posted other people's songs on her stories without being asked. Rihanna, honey, is the definition of there is room at the table. So if there is any tension between Rihanna and Tyla, do not for 1 second let the internet convince you that Rihanna started it. Rihanna does not have the time, the ego, or the energy to feel threatened by anybody. Rihanna is too busy being Rihanna. And ASAP Rocky, baby, ASAP Rocky better wake up and read the room. Because his brand right now, whether he understands it or not, is entirely tethered to the story of the man who loved the biggest star in the world correctly. That is his equity. That is his currency. That is the reason he sits front row anywhere he sits. The moment a rumor sticks that he even glanced back at another woman, especially one who has been positioned as Rihanna's musical shadow, that equity starts leaking. And once it leaks, it does not come back. Ask any washed-up frontman who fumbled a queen. The answer is always the same. He never recovered. Not really. When the smoke clears, all that is left is a very simple truth. Rihanna is unbothered. ASAP Rocky is on thin ice whether he sees it or not. And Tyla is standing on a subway grate wearing a very expensive chain, and the train is coming. What happens next is up to Tyla. If she deletes the pictures quietly, adjusts her strategy, and lets the story cool, she still has a career. If she doubles down, posts another one, and starts baiting the algorithm on purpose, then baby, the Rihanna Navy is going to give her a rollout she did not ask for and cannot afford. So drop your verdict downstairs and tell me who you think is lying, who is playing chess, and who is just playing themselves. Are you buying that Tyla is just hyping her next single theory? Are you buying that Tyla is secretly shooting her shot theory? Or are you like me, sitting somewhere in the middle with popcorn in one hand and a screenshot in the other, waiting for the receipts to finish printing? Slide into the comments and let me know. Hit that like button so more of my people can find this breakdown before the story evolves on us again. And subscribe if you are new around here, because this Rihanna, ASAP, Tyla situation is not over, not by a mile. And when the next chapter drops, you're going to want to be in the room when I open it. Alright, keep your eyes open, keep your fingers off the send button, and I will meet you back here the second the next receipt hits the internet. Talk soon.